yeah, this is a podcast about how to make podcasts. It's that you have a successful podcast.
Okay.
It's not really, but if you have any tips, you can toss them my way.
About having a successful podcast, I mean, consistency is definitely key.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's one of the most important things. Like, you can't skip a week.
Yeah.
And people ask all the time, like, how do you make money in podcasting? Well, I don't think you can get into podcasting to necessarily make money. Because even our major Wrestling for podcast, like, you look at the numbers, like, of how much money we're bringing in from just the actual audio podcast. Yeah, it's okay, but it's everything else that we've built around it. You know, the YouTube, the Twitch, the merchandise, the live shows, the live wrestling shows. So you got to, like, build a brand and build a community, but not just, like, you got to, like, genuinely want to build that community, not like, oh, how can we make money?
Yeah.
You know? The money comes after you build the community. You can't be like, oh, let's build this community and make money. It doesn't work that way, you know?
Yeah. It's weird with you, like, you have, like, this, I hopefully you won't take this disrespectfully, an abrasive personality sometimes, like when you see you on your Twitter feed and everything, and so then, but you're also building a community, so that feels like a weird balance to have.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm not trying to gain any followers. You know, I'm not trying to prove people wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I gain some people, glad to have you on board. But I'm doing things for me, my fans, the fans that have stuck with me, man, for years, or the newer fans, whatever it is. But I'm not trying to, like, you know, if you're a hater or negative or a troll, like, I'm not trying to, like, well, I'm going to do this to prove you wrong. Like, I don't even care. Like, maybe I'll make, like, a dickish response on Twitter, but that's about it.
I mean, I guess it's probably easy for a guy like you. You've had a lot of success to just brush that off. I know you have, as much as you're on
Listen,
Twitter.
I get it comes to the territory, right? There's hate every single day, and I'd be lying if I said that nothing ever gets under my skin. Of course it does. It's natural, but you know, sometimes the insult is so good that it pops me, and I'll retweet it, or I'll say, "Oh wow, that was good," you know. But typically, you cannot respond to all the negativity. You just can't. And sometimes you got to respond to it with positivity or just being kind or nice, which is a crazy way to look at it. But, you know, kill them with kindness.
Yeah. Well, if I'm going to be kind, I'll ask you, how does your arm feel right now?
It actually feels fine. There's no pain. I'm in this, as of this recording, in this soft cast brace sling until Friday. Today is Monday. And then I will get it off and get another brace and start physical therapy. So listen, there's no good time to get injured. This is not a good time. This is the worst time to get injured. But, you know, got the surgery done, and now going to start the rehab and just move forward.
How was the surgery? Like, was it just pretty simple?
Yeah, pretty easy. The shittiest part was that it was a late in the day surgery, so I couldn't eat all day, and I was fucking starving.
Oh, yeah.
So after I woke up, I was afraid that I wouldn't have an appetite, but I was starving. I made Chelsea take me right to Five Guys. I just needed food.
Yeah. What's it like? Is that your worst injury you've had, or is
about 6 years? Listen, I've been wrestling for 19 years. My whole body fucking hurts. I have a lot of aches. You know, my shoulders, my knees—they're all pretty banged up. But the only real surgery I got besides this was 6 years ago. I blew out my knee. My patella tendon just kind of exploded, if you will. And it was in a match. I just jumped up to hit my finish, and that was it. No crazy landing, no weird bump, no crazy move. Same with this arm injury. Blake Christian dove on me at GCW. You watch the video, there's really nothing to it. And then that was it. I felt it instantly.
Yeah, it's really random how that happens.
Yeah.
And like you've seen those. I guess I was just fishing to see if you'd ever did that Sid Vicious leg break or something.
No, I have not. Thank God. No.
That looks like the worst one I've ever seen.
Yeah, brutal.
But yeah, I guess just what? Well, actually, just to stick with that for just a second, like, what does that feel like? I'm just curious, just for my own curiosity. Like
the arm?
Yeah, the arm when it happened. Like,
so if you watch the video, I don't know if you could put it in this video form, but I feel it instantly, and I go right to my arm, and I'm like wiggling my fingers, and I just felt it. I'm not a doctor, right? My immediate thought is, holy shit, like I tore my bicep, but I'm hoping that I didn't. And I'm going to finish the match. You know, the adrenaline was pumping. At one point, I go to pick up a trash can and hit him with it, and my arm just gives out. I'm like, fuck. And again, just kept going, finished the match, and I knew as soon as I walked through that curtain, I pulled down my elbow pad, and I saw my bicep rolled up. I'm like, okay, well, it's either torn or partially torn. Like, something is not right.
Right.
Listen, that was my second match that day. I was about to go to a third appearance. I had to cancel that appearance. I flew right home to Orlando, and I got checked out the next day. And, the doctor I saw said, yeah, it's torn. Go get MRI just to be 100% certain and see how torn it is. And, yeah, torn. So it was painful, but the adrenaline was pumping, and I was able to finish the match.
What's the worst part for like something like that? I mean, for a guy like you, it feels like it would be a struggle just because you can't. There's a wrestling aspect, but then also like
that's the only aspect, right? I mean, because a couple of things went through my head. Well, I have a pay-per-view named after me in 2 weeks that I'm obviously not going to wrestle at, which fucking sucks. And this is my job. This is how I make a living is doing these shows, wrestling. And I knew that a lot of these promotions are not going to want to just bring me in for a promo or an autograph signing. So I'm thinking like minus this amount. I'm just in my head calculating like how much money am I going to lose this summer, on top of paying for the surgery and rehab. I'm like, but it is what it is. There's no. For about like a day, I felt not sorry for myself, but like just bummed out about the situation. And then I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do. Just got to get the surgery. And trust me, I thought about just old school taping it up and fighting through it. But with this injury, you have to. I mean, I guess you don't have to get it fixed, but if you're wrestling as much as I am, and I want to do it for a long time, like I got to get it fixed.
You can just go without fixing it.
If you're working a 9 to 5 behind a desk, like, do you really need like to have a nice bicep? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I guess not.
Yeah, I've talked to like every wrestler I could find who like tore their bicep. Did you get surgery? Did you not? And the guys who had the same injury as me that didn't get surgery regretted not getting the surgery.
Really?
So there you go.
With your how does that? Because you can't work out or
I can't work out right now, and like that's a big part of my lifestyle is the gym. And people ask, this is off topic, people ask me all the time, like, how do you stay motivated for the job? I don't wake up and I can't wait to go to the gym today. That's not what it is, And when I'm in there, it's not like, oh, this is the best. Oh, man, I'm at the gym. Woo! It's become part of my daily, lifestyle. It's like I wake up, eat breakfast, take a shit, go to the gym. It's just like I've done it for so long that's just ingrained in my brain. So even now, even the day after surgery, I went to the gym. There's only certain things I can do. Obviously, I'm in this sling. I have one arm. But I'm not going to let my body fall apart, the rest of my body fall apart. And also, I just have to go. It just has to be done.
Yeah. How much does it impact you mentally when you have the issue of you just had to give up the 10 pounds of gold?
I mean, it's horrible. Something that I've worked 19 years for, and I say all the time, I'm here to save NWA, and I truly am. I want this company to grow and to get even bigger, and I want to be responsible for that. I want to be the face of that company, and I know a lot of people legit in the back don't like me saying that, and that's fine. But I'm not the bad guy here. I'm not invading. This isn't like NWO coming to WCW. I want this company to get bigger. I want this company to get better. I want there to be more merchandise, more shows. It's great doing these shows every couple of months. I don't want to do them every couple of months. I want to do them every week. You know what I'm saying? I want this to just get bigger and better, and I want to be a part of that journey. And it sucks that I felt like I was doing a great job as champ. We have the pay-per-view named after me. Not only can I not be on the show, I'm going to have to give up the title, but I get it. I mean, I can't, I was bitching and moaning that the champions before me, were just sitting home not defending it. So I can't be that guy.
Right.
If someone else, I can't be a hypocrite. If I can't defend the title, if I can't make these towns, representing the NWA, someone else has to. I get it.
So just curious then, out of that matchup that happened after you gave it up, Trevor
I left. I didn't even watch it.
Well,
I couldn't be in the building. I know now Trevor's the champ.
I was going to say, if you haven't heard, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I couldn't. I couldn't stay in the building. I couldn't. I had to leave.
How do you feel about Trevor winning it? Like, did you have a preference out of those guys?
I did not have a preference. Listen, Trevor, he's such an old school. You think of NWA, you think of someone like Trevor Murdoch, right? And his reign got cut short by me. So now he has another chance. And I think now he's got like a little motivation. He's got like a fire lit under his ass that like I came in here and just took it. He's like, like I legitimately think he's like, oh shit. Like now I think he's going to cherish it, hold on to it as tight as he can, do more with it. And not saying he wasn't a great champion, but I think he's going to be a better champion this time around.
I think you're right. Just a couple more things really quick.
I got time. I'm not wrestling today.
He's got jokes.
Yeah.
He's got jokes. Do you generally when you come like we're here at NWA tapings right now.
Yeah.
When you go into a new locker room, being the guy that you are, and you obviously you have your haters that'll call you an ex-WWE guy or whatever, all the stuff.
They're just mad they never were there.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, like, do you generally run into like pushback from these companies that you're going everywhere, and you've obviously made a name for yourself, so you're having a lot of success with that? But are there always like in the locker room? Do you encounter resistance?
I think I encounter everything. There's definitely people who see what I can bring to the table. Then there's people who don't want me there, and I get it because they see me. They see someone who's come and take their spot. But I don't mean this as a shot to anybody. I'm not there to take their spot. I'm my own spot. I'm going to create my own spot. And listen, this is it's not show friends, it's show business, and I get it. And I know not everyone's going to like me. I respect everybody coming into the locker rooms I come into. If they don't respect me, that's their deal. Like I said earlier, I'm not here to change people's perception of me. I don't want to prove people wrong, prove doubters wrong. I care about me, my success, prove myself right, prove my fans right, proving the people who believe in me right. And obviously, like the people who pay me to be here, proving them right. They're paying me. Billy's taking a chance on me. I don't want to let him down as a promoter.
He's the only guy you got to really impress anyway.
For sure.
So, has he been, like, in comparison, like, you've obviously been everywhere now, and, like, he's I guess he's not new to wrestling, but he's running his own company now.
Billy has been great to me. I see his vision for this company, and I think, just like I said, like, I don't want to just do the tapings a couple times a year. And I think Billy wants this to grow. And it's a slow burn, but I think he has that goal and he has that vision, which I appreciate. The first time I came here, I loved that, for instance, Matt Cardona, go to the podium. Okay, what am I saying? Well, there's no script. There's no outline. It just says I have, 3 minutes. And I love that luxury of being able to just talk. Mm-hmm. And it's not just for me. It's everybody. It's not like, here's everyone's script, but Matt, you can do whatever you want. That's not it. Everybody can take chances and be themselves, and that's what this business, in my opinion, should be about. But then also on the flip side, there's people who think like I'm politicking. I don't even have Billy's number. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey Billy, here's this idea. This is a shoot. The only thing I ever pitched to Billy Corgan, and it was via email, was to bring in VSK. That's it. I didn't pitch to have Always Ready. I didn't pitch to be in the I didn't pitch all this stuff. People think like I'm like sucking up to Billy. I'm not. Yeah. I'm just not. Like, if Billy sees the value of me, I think he's a smart man, and I'm going to do whatever I can to prove him right.
Huh. That's interesting that you don't even have his number. Yeah. Because I've seen in interviews where you you have Vince McMahon's number, obviously.
I do.
And so that's interesting. The only person I see, like if I look out there, I mean, obviously there's a lot of hard workers, so I don't want to say the only person I see, but like you obviously stay very, very busy. But one of the other people that stays very, very busy is Chelsea.
Yep.
And do you think, maybe this is too personal, is that something that like helped the attraction between you two, is that you're both so focused?
Actually, no, because I did not want to date a wrestler. I mean, the history of wrestling relationships proves that usually doesn't work out.
Right.
So when I was introduced to her, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, I did not. A wrestling girl, like, why? But, we started going on some dates, and I didn't take it as seriously. And then we just really clicked. And the next thing you know, like her toothbrush is there. Next thing you know, she's living with me. Next thing you know, we got 2 dogs, 3 cats, and we're married. You know what I'm saying? But now we are both very driven and focused. And, in this business, especially in 2022, like there is opportunity out there besides WWE or AEW. And we're both taking advantage of that, and we're both jumping everywhere and doing everything we can. I say I'm about 3 things: buzz, money, and gold. And, I mean that. I really am. Like I'm about, staying relevant, getting that buzz, doing whatever I can to get noticed. Love me or hate me, you know what I'm doing, right? Everyone in the wrestling world knows that Matt Cardona, well, I'm not anymore, but Matt Cardona is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, because I will tweet it and post it until you want to throw up, like, because you know, and and that's just part of the gig, in my opinion. Some people don't have to do that. I do. I need to be the person who is forcing you to know what I'm doing, and I don't mind doing it. That's just part of the job. I've always been that way. When I started the YouTube show over a decade ago, I wasn't happy with my spot in WWE. Instead of bitching and moaning, I did something about it, and I think I proved that you can change your position in a major company. And I'm very proud that I did that. And now I think I'm trying to prove that you don't need a major company to be a quote unquote successful pro wrestler. And by successful, I mean money, happiness, not just like wins and losses, which is great. I love winning championships. I love winning championships all over the world. It's awesome. Yeah. But I'm the happiest I've ever been, the most motivated I've ever been, having the most fun. And I think I have the most buzz I've ever had.
Is it hard for you to shut that off? Like,
yes,
I mean, like
yes.
when you get home or
yes.
something, and like, especially since you and Chelsea are both so driven, like, do you have to like tell each other like, hey, all right?
Yeah. I mean, like, there are times, like it happened to me today. I was working out, and I'm like, I'm not even like focusing on like the lifting. I'm just focusing on like, if I have like a backstage or a pre-tape, what am I going to say today? Like that. I'm just so focused on that. Yeah. My brain does not shut off. But I think that's also why I've been so successful, because, and listen, not everything I do is a home run. I've fallen flat on my face so many times. I've also, I've said this before. I think there is no one in the history of this business who's been counted out and has come back more times than me. And I mean that 100%. And you can find somebody else, let me know.
Yeah. So one last thing. This is for me, because the first day you were here, I think, or right around then, I asked you, I was like, I'm doing social media for the NWA or whatever,
yeah.
and like, do you have any tips about Twitter? And you said, I don't fucking know. And,
listen,
not like rudely, but you.
No, I don't know like the algorithm stuff. I don't know the right time. All I know is content, and that's what I do. Content. Just post. Like there's some people, this didn't get enough likes. Chelsea does it all the time. I'm going to delete it. Why? Who cares? I don't post things like, I hope this gets enough likes. I post me, so it's 100% authentic, 100% like transparent. If you don't like it, like I said, I don't care. I'm not trying. I don't care. I care about my fans and myself, and if I like it, and if I get you along the way, awesome, glad to have you. But I don't care about like, it's too early in the day to be posting this, or it's too late. I just post it.
Yeah.
I don't look at the amount of likes. Of course, you have to engage with the comments. I think it's very important. It's social media. You got to be social. You got to interact with the people. So I think that is important. And listen, there are people out there that don't need to use social media, and they're so successful, and good for them. Right. More power to them. I have to use it. I'm the internet champion for a reason,
Yeah, Twitter's your favorite though, by far. Or I guess it lets you respond most.
Yeah. I guess It makes you can respond, because like, listen, if you're looking at a picture that you posted, you got to go through all that. It's just a lot easier to look through a Twitter feed.
Gotcha. Actually, what I wanted to ask you, because I was just thinking of that moment, and I was like, so Matt Cardona is not your guru, everybody. Like he's like, but I am curious. For you mentioned earlier, like the morning routine that you had, like you got up. For a guy like you who stays so busy and gets so much accomplished with all these different projects, like how do you plot that out? Do you have like a schedule, or like what's your like productivity, or how do you plot that out?
Like, you're gonna hate this answer. I should be a lot more organized in that regard. I'm not. Obviously, there are goals, short term and long term. I think that's very important. Is like goal setting. Every morning when I wake up, and this is gonna sound cheesy, I don't give a fuck. It's five. The first thing I do when I wake up in my head, I say 5 things that I'm grateful for, and then 5 goals I have, and they could be the biggest goals ever or like the smallest goals ever. But I think it's important to always have like a daily reminder of what are you living for? What do you want? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't always have to be, the things I said today, were some wrestling related? Yes. Were some not wrestling related? Yes. Who's to say like what's right or wrong? It's your life. I think success should be defined by like happiness, not necessarily like dollar signs. Of course, I love money. You love money. We all love it. We need money, right?
Right.
But I think at the end of the day, if you're miserable and you have all this money, who gives a shit? Like, I'd rather be happy than have millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
But I'd love to make millions and millions of dollars too, right?
Right.
I'm not saying it has to be one or the other.
Right.
But finding that happy medium, that balance, I think that's the game, right?
Well, it probably helped right now, like with this injury and everything, too.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I mean, you gotta see my medical bills.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Matt.
Oh,
and
no problem.
Thanks for sitting with us, buddy. And I hope we see you back sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, as of this recording, it's the June tapings. We got the dates for the August tapings. I will not be, spoiler, probably not going to be ready for those. And then, I know there's November dates, and I would love to be ready to go by November. Hopefully, I will be. But, it is what it is. There's no good time to get injured, like I said. Am I going to rush back? I mean, yes and no. I'm not going to get back in the ring if I'm not healed.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do whatever I fucking can to rush getting healed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm not taking this time just like sitting and relaxing. I'll be going to rehab, doing whatever I can to get ready. I will not step in the ring if I'm not 100%, but I will do whatever I can to get to 100% as fast as I can.
Did you see any like miracle people that got like a super speedy recovery?
Listen, anyone who's had this injury, I've had how long? Every Google, I've done it all. I'm hoping for 3 months. Is that optimistic? Maybe, but that's my goal. That's what I'm shooting for. Unfortunately, that means I would miss the August tapings, the August pay-per-view. Hey, man, what if I get ready in 2.5 months?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Coming back for the title, though.
I mean, I never lost.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, worked my ass off for 19 years to become NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Didn't lose. I did not lose the title. And I respect everyone who's in the title picture. I respect everybody. But I truly feel like I am the best person to represent this company. I think I'm the best person to take that title all around the world. And if someone thinks they can do a better job than me, then step up. Like, I accept the challenge. I love the challenge. If someone wants to have a busier schedule than me, try me. Go ahead. Get booked more than I can. Please. This is not like a try to get booked more than I can. No, seriously, do. Seriously, do it. And work harder than I can and hustle more than I can. Please do it. I don't think you're going to be able to do it, but I beg someone to try.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how anybody could. So it's all right. Well, thank you, Matt. I appreciate it.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm like I would never say, it'd be ignorant to say I'm the hardest worker in the NWA, the hardest worker in the wrestling business. But who works harder than me? That's all I'm saying. Who does? That's it.